Okay, so a few things I wanted to talk to you guys about. So, on my Facebook group last night, I posted, and I was wanting to see if anyone would be willing to hold me to my squat challenge I'm doing right now. So, for some reason, a lot of people took it as, what the heck is going on with these computers? A lot of people took it as I was trying to lose weight and they were offering me all these ideas, and I mean, yeah, I'm grateful for that, but that's not my current plan. So, right now, if you guys have been following me since my pregnancy with Ella, a lot of people commented on my postpartum update, or maybe it was my last bump date or something like that. A lot of people were commenting saying, girl, where'd your butt go? Because I lost my butt during pregnancy. I mean, I didn't have a big one to begin with, but it went super, super flat. So I'm going to try and show you guys. So you guys can see my butt is like non-existent. My belly's all there, obviously, but my butt is like non-existent. So I saw a channel called Ladies and Lattes. They were doing a squat challenge type thing where they both did 100 squats a day for an entire month. And they saw the differences before and after. So that's what I'm going to be doing. There's going to be a whole separate video in about a month from now of that documentation. But I have figured out through my meal planning whole situation journey thing that I am more of a visual type of person. So, I printed a chart, a little calendar. I just found this on Google. I just typed in blank calendar, you know, and, oh, my screen went black. What happened? Oh, there it goes, okay. And this is what I found. I thought it was cute, so I went with it. And you guys can see up top, I wrote January, and then I labeled all the days. This is when I started the challenge. So all of these ones here are going to be blank. But from here, hopefully all the way down to the 31st of January, I'm going to have written 100 squats done. Or if that day I'm not feeling good, like if I'm sick, I'll have like 50 squats done, but then I'll make up for it the next day. And then I also have the same calendar with February. And the numbers all listed. So I'm hoping to do this so that I can see an outcome in my butt right now. I'm not necessarily looking for weight loss results or anything like that right now. But I want to start somewhere, and the squats is somewhere. After the month, I'll see how I feel, how my legs feel, and everything like that. Last night when I did my squats, I did 30, I had to take a break. I did 20, took a break, did 20, took a break, and then finished out the last 30. I did it that way because my legs were killing me and I felt like I was gonna fall. I was really out of breath, you know, it was hard. But as I do it each day for an entire month, hopefully I can get some type of results for that. And I plan to hopefully keep going as long as I want. But yeah, so that's that. And then I have another chart here. It's a pretty boring chart until you get here. So, last night, Tim opened up me a savings account because I didn't have a savings account. Excuse me. And I was thinking last night, I was like, you know what? I need to start saving my money because He gives me $25 that I can spend on whatever I want every time he gets paid. He pays all the bills. He buys the toilet paper, the paper towels, the paper plates. Like, he buys everything for the house. This $25 he gives me, I can use it for whatever. I usually get my prescriptions. I buy tissues. And then I just kind of blow it on stuff that I don't need. So, I'm trying to be more thoughtful. Is that the word? More smart with my money. And I was like, you know what? I need to start putting like $5 to $10 out of every $25 that I get into a savings account. At the end of the year, I can use that for Christmas presents, or I can use that for, you know, whatever, or I can use it to splurge. Like, if my camera were to break, I could have that money saved so I can buy myself a new camera. I don't have to ask my husband to buy me a new camera, if that makes sense. So I printed out this chart. It's just a January through December, and it's got like 31 days. February is, if you guys can see, February has these two dark filled in ones because there's only 29 days in February. And same with these ones that have the 31 all filled in. That I'm not too worried about. If I save $31 a month, you know, cool. But right now, if you guys can see, I colored in 1 to 15. So the money I got from selling her jumperoo thing last night for $50, I got to keep that. Tim told me, he's like, you know what, you go ahead and keep it, and we'll call it a day. And I was like, okay, you know, I still gave him the cash, and I transferred over the $50 to my account. And I was like, hey, can you open me up a savings account? He's better with like the interest rate and everything like that, so I just had him open me one. It was through Capital One, I believe. And he's like, well, how much do you want in there? I was like, 15 out of this 50. And then he also showed me how I can transfer over 10 or 15 or whatever out of every time I get paid. So I'm just trying to be more mindful, that's the word, more mindful of my spending. And not spend it on stupid stuff that I don't need, like McDonald's or Taco Bell, or, you know, the coolest new raved thing at Dollar Tree, or stuff like that. I hope that makes sense to you guys. So, I've never been good with money. I've always been horrible at it. I was working at a job and I made about $3 grand and I had no money in the bank. None. Granted, yeah, I was paying for gas to get back and forth to work. I was paying half of the bills. I was paying, I think that's it, half of the bills, which was only like 80 bucks each pay, so about 160 a month. Gas, we'll say 20 bucks a month, or we'll say about 40 a month, because I didn't really have to drive far. So that's 200. I made $3 grand in 6 months. And I had nothing in the bank. I think when I lost my job, I think I had maybe $200 in the bank, which is not much at all. That's back when I was doing all the Dollar Tree hauls and stuff like that. So this is going to help me. If you guys can see here, I wrote $1 equals 1 filled in square, and then I wrote money saving chart. So what I'm going to do is, if you guys saw my one vlog where I got the pack of like 10 or whatever different colored pens, I'm going to use those. So next time I put money into the savings account, I'm going to use a different color so I can kind of like see, you know, this day I saved 15, then say the next time it was 10. So I really hope that makes sense to you guys. But as of right now, I am going to finish editing. I am going to upload, just kind of watch some YouTube, eat a little bit of a lunch, and just kind of hang out and wait for her to get up from her nap. So I just really hope that makes sense to you guys. And my squat chart, I'm keeping in this binder at the front so I can like see if I've done my squats that day. So yeah, my camera's about to... Okay, so I have just been watching YouTube, just kind of doing... Oh, shoot. I forgot to change up my battery. Uno momento. Okay, you guys can see she is still asleep. It's about 5:45. She ended up not going down for a nap until like 4, so... I think it was actually closer to maybe 3:30, but... Either way, she has not been napping very well lately. I don't know why. I don't know. I went in to get her this morning and she was stuck. So I woke up, I don't know, I think it was like 8 o'clock. I woke up just to like reposition. And anytime I look up, I'll check the monitor on my phone. However, when I looked at the monitor, I thought she was asleep because it was like 8:30. I watched her. She didn't she didn't move or anything, so I think she was asleep. And then I woke up at 10:30 and I looked at the monitor. She was still in the same position. That is not like her, so I was like, she's stuck. I could tell that she was stuck in her crib, so I'm going to show you guys some pictures. There's one with and then one without flash. So this is the one down by her foot. You guys can see if it'll focus. This is her foot right here. Hang on. There we go. So she's got this red mark here. You guys can see it a little bit better there. Then she's got this one, which is obviously behind her knee. And then she's got this one right here, which is 2 separate little ones. So the way she was in her crib, she had this part, it was sticking out of her crib. This part was on the outside rung of one of the pieces. And then this one is where her foot had gone back into her crib. So she does that quite a lot, honestly. She always manages to get herself stuck in her crib. And at least 4 times a week, I have to go in and get her unstuck before she can go to bed. I don't know what else I could do. I don't know. She moves around too much for a toddler bed, so she's not ready for that. I lay her in the center of her crib. It's not usually that bad. I think it's because she was stuck for a few hours. I just thought she was asleep when I rolled over. And usually a lot of times it's just her thigh. Like, she'll stick her leg out so far, her chunky thighs get stuck in there. And I don't know what to do. The crib bumpers are not safe for in there. Even the mesh ones that you can like intertwine so she can't do that. I don't think those would even work because she would probably be too occupied with playing with them to actually fall asleep. Plus, they've got the ties so she can manage to untie them and harm herself in some way while I'm in bed. Tim thought about putting cardboard up on the outside and like duct taping it to her crib so she can't stick her hands or anything out. And again, I don't think that would be a good idea because she would be too busy playing and trying to get the cardboard off than she would be to sleep. A couple people suggested like the sleep sacks. They don't fit her no more. A couple people suggested some type of swaddle, which no. She hasn't liked swaddle since we brought her home from the hospital. And besides, at this point where they can roll over, they need their hands and stuff free So if they would manage to block their airway, they can move themselves. I just don't know what to do. A couple people also suggested putting a pillow and comforter in there now since she is over a year old. And lay her in and like kind of tuck her in the blanket so that she can't move, but excuse me. If any of you mamas or daddies out there have any ideas on what I can do to help her, please let me know. But I did make some hard-boiled eggs for her for lunch. They are out there waiting for her. I just gotta cut them up for whenever she eats them. But I've filmed this once today, but I ended up deleting that clip because it was like 20 minutes long. So I wanted to talk to you guys about these papers that I have here. So I posted, I'm like trying to keep myself covered, sorry. I am dressed, by the way. I just don't want to be showing you guys boobage. Oh, sorry, my eyes itchy. I posted on my YouTube group yesterday saying how I wanted to see if anyone would hold me to my word, and like message me every day to see if I did my squats or not. Because right now, I saw this on Ladies and Lattes before. They did 100 squat day challenge for a month. So they both did 100 squats every day for a month. And, oh, excuse me, if they missed a day, then they made up for it the next day. So I wanted to do that because their results were pretty good. And I've been trying to get my butt back after I lost it during pregnancy. So that, and I do want to get healthier. You know, I want to lose weight, but I wanted somewhere somewhat sort of simple to start. And these squats can do that. So it's something I consistently will do every day. And if I miss a day, I will make up for it the next day. And I just feel like I gotta sneeze. I just wanted somewhere simple to start. And a lot of people were like, oh, have you thought about going keto? Just watch what you eat, cut back on your pop. No pop at all, no chips, no bread, no blah, blah, blah. And like, I understand that they're just trying to be like helpful, but that's not what I was asking. I was just asking for people to hold me accountable for my squats. So even if you guys want to comment down below, if you guys think about it, say, hey, have you done your squats for today? So I printed out 2 of these calendars. They're just blank calendars. There's like 5 weeks for obvious reasons, but this is January's, so if you guys can see, if it'll focus. So I have everything numbered. 1, 8, 15, and so on. Right here, you guys can see I have 100 squats done. I did my squats last night on the 16th. This is when I started this challenge. So all the way from here down should all have 100 squats done or made up the next day or what have you. And then I also have the same, if I can get it separated, I have the same calendar for February, and I'm going to continue through with that. So it's just somewhere simple that I can start, that I don't feel pushed, if that makes sense. So I do feel a lot of pressure to lose weight and everything because it's just the world that we live in, honestly, and it's just a lot of pressure. I can't really go to a gym because I don't have the ability for childcare, other than myself. So Tim, he usually gets called over about an hour, maybe 2 hours after he gets up in the mornings. So he's gone from at least noon until probably 9 to 10 at night. And the only local gym that we have is the YMCA. Ours doesn't have childcare for her age group. And that is about a 20-minute drive in itself. So 20 to 25 minutes depending on traffic. So you're looking at 40 to 50 minutes a day just travel. And that would leave me with about half an hour to work out and about half an hour to get changed in everything while I'm up there. It's not worth it to me. It's not gonna work out that way. Come summertime, we are gonna start getting up even earlier, like 8, 9 o'clock in the mornings. We're gonna get ourselves up, get dressed, you know, do whatever we gotta do, get breakfast, and we're gonna start going for walks. So we're gonna start going on like nature walks around Lake Wilhelm, maybe go out to like Buell Park over in Hermitage and stuff like that. Just go to more parks or whatever and do more walking. That is the one thing that we're looking forward to. And you know, after we take a walk, say we walk 4 miles or whatever, we could go for a nice little swim afterwards. It's just, we're gonna take Ella's stroller, she's gonna be in the stroller, or she can walk or whatever. And it's exciting because it's gonna be another step closer to helping lose weight. Next thing real quick is this money saving chart. So I printed this out, it was completely blank. So it's got, you guys can see January all the way through to December. Up here up top, it's got 1 all the way through to 31. So this is like a monthly, like, attendance sheet, I think it was what it was called, on Google. So this would be for like 1 kid in attendance of school or whatever. And you guys can see, so February is the second one down, obviously. 30 and 31 are colored in already because those are technically not days in February. April only has 30 days. June 30, September 30, stuff like that. So these ones are already technically colored in, but my goal is to save $20 a month. So Tim gives me $25 a month to do whatever, or $25 every 2 weeks when he gets paid. He calls it my allowance, which that's just what we call it because it's easier. But that is for me to get whatever I want with. So I can use that for my tissues, my prescriptions if I need to, like my pads or my tampons. But if I need them, he'll buy them and not ask for the money back. I could go out to eat with them. I could do whatever I want with this money. And I blow it with nothing to show for it 90% of the time because it's usually on food or God knows what. Honestly, I don't even know what the heck I buy every 2 weeks, but I never ever have any money. It's a lot of unnecessary junk that just gets stuffed in random crevices and creaks and cracks and everything like that. So, last night I told you guys I was selling her jumperoo and I got $50 cash for that. And Tim told me I could keep it, you know, just go ahead and keep it, do whatever, just don't go blowing it all within like 3 days. And, you know, fine, cool, whatever. I gave him the cash and I transferred the money from his bank account to mine. It's just easier that way. And he always needs cash more than I do, so I mean it works out. So that leaves me with $35. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. So he opened me a savings account up last night at Capital One because it has the best interest rate. So that's why he opened it up there, and he asked how much I wanted to put into it. And if you guys can see, 1 through 15 is colored in. I had him transfer $15 from my bank account to the savings account, and that's what this is for. So if you guys can see, $1 equals 1 colored in square. This is my money saving chart. Now, every time I get that $25, I plan on putting 10 of it aside into the savings account. So that's roughly about 20 bucks a month. This one's a little different because I did get that 50, so I put 15 in automatically right away out of that 50. And that's why 15 is colored in. So in 2 weeks from now or whenever I get the next $25, that will go up to 25. If I fill in all 31 for a month, cool, great, you know, that's awesome. But this is just a visual representation so I can see exactly how much I've put in and when. Not exactly the date, but like the month. So, sorry my voice is getting real raspy, but I found out through my, meal planning thing that I'm more of a visual type person. So that's why I've got these. And a lot of people will find it unnecessary and a waste of time and money and paper and such. But to me, it's a good idea because I can physically see everything. And if I did $10 every 2 weeks, or you know, $20 a month, that would leave me with $240 at the end of the year. So I could use that for Christmas presents. I can use that as a little bit of splurge money for myself. I can use that money to help pay for a vacation for the 3 of us. I can use that money towards a new camera if my camera were to break. I could use it for whatever. And that's just what my planning is right here. So if you guys like to see progress and how much I can track, let me know. It's not much, but you know, I gotta start somewhere, right?